Hi and welcome again to the latest edition of BounceBack. I hope you're managing to stay safe and well and being positive as we look forward to being able to bounce back into business as soon as we're able. Over the last few episodes, we've been looking more a little bit at the business side of coaching and getting you ready, preparing to evaluate your current business, look at your strengths, your weaknesses, develop your plans and market when we're ready to get back into business. Today is a little bit of a change. We're looking at player analysis today and how we could actually develop a plan for our players, looking at the different skills they've got. So what we've got basically is a series of charts. So this one is for technical analysis. So you can see down the left-hand column a list of many of the different strokes that we need within tennis. So forehand, backhand, serve, volley, and then a little bit more of the specialty shots as we get towards the bottom. We then have a scale of 1 to 10 moving across the chart itself. And then down the right-hand column, there are the current levels, the target levels, and the review date. So basically how this works is you go through each of these skills with a player in mind, and you give them a grade of 1 to 10 on their current level. So simply there may be a 6 out of 10 on the forehand, 4 out of 10 on the backhand, maybe 5 out of 10 on the serve, whatever score you want to give. You then look at the target. Okay, now when you're looking at the target, obviously we're looking to improve that stroke, but you also need to look at the review date. So you need to decide when are you going to review these strokes. Now obviously they're not all going to be reviewed on the same day. There are too many things on this list to be able to actually say, I'm going to do these all in one day. So you may actually only want to pick some of these skills. You don't have to put all of them in. And of course, you can vary this if you want to your own skills. I'm going to put on the website for you to download these sheets, but I'm leaving them as a Word document. So it makes it much easier for you to then edit this if you want to personalize it to the way you're thinking, the way you're coaching, or to each individual players. So for example, if you're doing it for a mini red player, this skill set is way too advanced for a mini red. So tweak it and make it suit what you need. So look again, when are you going to review your dates? They will be different. They're not all going to be the same. And then go back to what the current level is, and then decide what level you'd like to get that player over the period of time you're giving yourself. So for example, forehand ground stroke, 6 out of 10. I want to get them to a 7 out of 10, and I'm going to review that in 5 weeks' time. Okay, and put the date in. That's simple. Doesn't have to be that more complicated. They may, for example, not be able to play a topspin serve. So at the moment, the score is 0. You want to introduce that to them, maybe get them to a 1, but you're not even going to start that for 6 weeks, so you're not going to review it for maybe 10 weeks. So look at each of the skills, decide whether they're relevant or not to the player you're working with. Give them a grade, think about when you're going to review it, and then decide how much of an improvement can you make between where they are now, where you want to get them to, within that date. Okay, so we have it for technical, we have the same for tactical. So again, all the different skills you're likely to need tactically, and again, it's a Word document online, so you can change it as and when and how you want. Make it match your players, and again, have you got specific things you want on that list? If so, edit them out and put your own in. Take control and take ownership of these sheets if you want to actually start using them. Obviously, we've got the physical side as well and the mental side. As you know, the RPT, we teach what we call the Theta Fime method, the technical, tactical, physical and mental. So every single lesson that we deliver has those 4 elements. We build a player from bottom up, starting with the physical, the footwork. Then we introduce the technical teaching. Then we apply that technique to the tactics. And finally, we introduce some level of competition where we introduce a mental skill. And that starts from complete beginner level. So all 4 elements need to be addressed if we're going to complete a program for a full player. Not just elements of a player, but the complete player. So have a look at these sheets, work out what things you like. You may even want to just develop different ones for mini red, for mini orange. You may want to look at it for social players, competitive players. Play around with them, think about this. What that gives us then is an overall view of that player. We know where they are in all the different elements, and we know where we're wanting to get them to within specific time frames. Obviously, the review dates for some of these will be the same. You will be reviewing the technique, the tactic, the physical and the mental on the same day for different things because you're covering all of these elements within the lessons. So again, have a look through it, work out how it works for you and your players. Adapt and adopt it however you wish, but it does give you a good overview. I've used this in different ways as well. I've done it myself for a player. I've asked the player to do it for themselves. And if they're a junior, I've also asked the parents to do it. So what's the value of that? The idea is to see if we're all on the same level. So we know parents' expectations can be a little bit exaggerated, perhaps in most cases, and sometimes the parents are too hard and don't think their kids are progressing as well as they are. So it's very interesting to look at the 3 different options and evaluate them across the board, compare and contrast the different sides. So we finish up then with an overview where all of us agree, the player, the coach, and the parents. And from that, we can really develop a very good picture. So take some time. Remember, we're asking you to spend an hour a day improving yourself and your coaching. Take some time on this, make it work for what you want. And tomorrow we'll look at how we use the information then to develop a 12-week plan. So we know what we're going to be doing exactly in every lesson for the next 12 weeks. So take your time, be ready to bounce back. And in the meantime, please stay well and stay safe. Cheers.